Hey, what's up, Will? I don't know how well this video is going to do with that light up there being out, but I'm hoping that it will still work. Because after all, it's not really that important for my face to be shown, Because really and truly, if I could have figured out a way to simply not even show my face in a lot of these videos, I probably would have done it. And I probably should start keeping a freaking hairbrush in there. But we'll see how well this does. I'm kind of liking my hair this length. Wish it could be this length all the time. So without further ado, and talking about my hair and all, I want to talk about in this video. I might start this video today and finish tomorrow. But I really want to talk about some things. Some of the things I've received lately. One of them being this special AliExpress Ken doll. He was nude or in underwear. The color of his skin. And I put him in a makeshift outfit. Because the selling point for me was that Fu Manchu, because they're starting to have to make male dolls with facial hair. Now that it's just so popular that almost any guy that can grow facial hair does. And, just wanted a male doll with facial hair, and to say that I wish such dolls as this and a clean-shaven version could be bought at a Dollar Tree. I wish you could go to the Dollar Tree and buy a cheap male doll with dark hair and light eyes instead of just girls. But unfortunately, they're moving the direction of phasing out the girls instead of that way. The other thing I wanted to share, one of my recent purchases, is this formerly naked Polly Pocket girl. She's kind of like that wizard boy I made a robe for in January. And this dress was from the Dollar Tree. Thinking about cutting it somehow and making it into a regular dress with sleeves, though not sure quite how to work that out, so that she could have like an evening gown, or I could just make her some clothes from scratch. But I felt sorry for her and bought her because she was nude. And I thought that I could just stick her in this temporarily and put her with the wizard boy, Wendell. And I think she has a name. I don't know if it's Lila or something like that. She's one of the Polly Pocket girls. And her ponytail is kind of nicked. But that's alright. She's a red hair Polly Pocket girl. I have the blonde is Polly. And I have another brunette named Nick. So, if I find out her name, I'll put it. The other thing I wanted was this astronaut gum holder, or really I'm almost out of the gum, but I'm going to save the astronaut for the space room. And so that's just a few of the things I've recently acquired. I might actually splice this video with me unboxing some things, so it might be a few days before it actually comes out. Maybe my hair will look even better. But what I want to talk about today, other than that, is just more of the same. And it sounds like I'm making noises, this stupid refrigerator. Just really want to briefly touch on how, I found more to back up my findings. And I want to talk about how about DARVO, and how, just like the trans activists, they want to deny abuse, reverse victim and offender. And that couldn't be more true. They want to turn the person who finds these things in movies. Not that I feel like I'm a victim. I don't feel victimized in the slightest. I'm happy about these findings in these movies. But they want to say that the people calling these things out are the abusers now, for being obsessed with these things inappropriately. Like, you should, what's the matter with you that you can't just ignore these things and let us do our depravity? What's the matter with you that you can't just ignore the fact that a boy might want to pretend to be a girl in order to watch girls get undressed? What's the matter with you that you can't just look the other way, when vulgar things are hidden in children's media? What's the matter with you that, you can't just overlook the fact that while a grown woman discussing her own poop might be inappropriate, the minute she's portraying a little boy character, so to speak, a fake little boy, it's suddenly acceptable. And I don't know, I just can't talk enough about that subject, but just wanted to say that it's just so true that, that the minute you point these things out, you become the bad guy, you become the villain. And so yeah, it's just, trying to make me into the abuser, the bad person for noticing things, for having an IQ, that enables me to find things like that. And I just want to talk about that now. I want to continue on with more unboxing, and just very happy about it still being a little bit cold, and really enjoying the springtime. And none of that can bring me down, because as I've stated before, I'm a doll collector. Not really an animation person. Not, cartoons are not really, my thing, and they become even less my thing the older I get. And so really and truly, a lot of times the dolls are why I even get interested and stay interested in stupid cartoons. If they didn't make dolls of them, that's why it's always, children's cartoons, and not the adult cartoons or adult shows that I get obsessed with, because those don't usually cause dolls to be manufactured by and large, and certainly not dolls of children. And so a lot of times, that's why, a lot of the dolls that I do have are characters that I'm only vaguely familiar with, just because of the packaging on the box and what I was able to find about them online. For every one character like Cedric that, I'm just have under a microscope, or like Angelica, there's probably dozens that I'm just only vaguely familiar with, because I may or may not have a doll, or I may, they may be on the same show with one I was obsessed with. So, I really don't care as much about animation. And I feel like a lot of these people, just like the children's books, that about summarizes them. Like, how the children's books conflict with the movies and such? And I feel like these people that idolize these characters are very much like the children's books, in that they mentally have an alternative version of the characters, the show, and everything about it in their head. And I feel like we all do. We all mentally have our own ideas about the characters, which may or may not coincide with what the people behind the characters had in mind. And I feel like everyone's version mentally of these characters is slightly different and slightly influenced by their own life experiences, whether they want it to be or not. And some of it is self-projection, some of it is, wanting them to be more like someone you know or would like to know in real life. But and some of it could be way off. There's probably things about these characters that none of us will ever truly know. But you can know a tree by its fruit, and you can know the kind of people behind the shows. And by their own admission, they are some very disgusting men. And just the things that they've admitted about themselves very publicly and openly. Like they're not ashamed of it. But like, you know, but I feel like, that everyone has, their own ideas about who the character is, and certain details that have never been revealed about the characters, like their undergarments in many cases. Not many antagonists. That's another thing about antagonists. I hate it so much. They're just so freaking discreet about their bodies. To the point where it's like, how can you say with certainty that they ever did or didn't do anything? You know what I'm saying? How can you say? Yeah, because one thing I've noticed, one common denominator, is that all three of these antagonists that I'm thinking about wear very dark pants. Angelica wears dark blue, Lars wears dark green, and Cedric wears dark purple or black under that robe. So they're all wearing dark pants and baggy purple tops, all three of them. Almost like they're a family that decided to dress similarly so they wouldn't get lost. And so, why anyone would try to say with certainty that any one of them necessarily didn't do what I've said they did, it's really dumb, because when have they ever shown us, when have any one of these characters ever just shown us a pair of their underwear all clean and folded and said, this is what I wear as, my innermost layer under there? When? Not a one of them ever has. Not a one of them ever has. Angelica never has. Lars never did. And obviously Cedric, we've never seen anything but his fingertips, face, and neck. That's all we've ever seen of him. So there's a big shroud of mystery surrounding these antagonists. And I think that is part of the intent. So that they really could poop their pants in some cases, and you'd never know. You would never know. You would never know, because, what would you really see? What would they really have to animate on someone with dark pants and baggy purple clothing on top? Baggy, dark purple clothing on top. So, I feel like everyone has a slightly different version mentally of these characters and who they want them to be, and sometimes that conflicts. And that's where you get into these deep denials, that I'm facing or have faced all these years. Yeah, that wall of denial is so thick. So anyway, I go ahead and post this video with whatever comes after it.